Wonderful. Well, keeping in time with everything, I wanted to thank you guys for participating so far in the Let's Go Be an Entrepreneur. I am really excited right now to introduce you guys to an entrepreneur that I've had the pleasure of knowing for a couple years and kind of learning more about and watching her grow up. Her name is Sarah. She is a former Girl Scout as well as a Gold Award recipient, and she has gone on to college. She's in her last year of college. I'm going to let Sarah share everything more about you, but this is an inspirational young woman who's really going to be able to show you guys what the skills the girls are learning in the Girl Scout Cookie program, what they will do, how far they will take them. And then this afternoon, join me. We're going to be doing a fun brainstorming session where you will be able to become an entrepreneur like Sarah. So we're going to teach you guys the skills of how you guys, even as an adult, can become an entrepreneur. So Sarah, welcome to the Let's Go Be an Entrepreneur. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you guys all hear me?
Wonderful. I've given you co-host ability. Sarah, you should be able to show your screen and go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome. So you guys are all in for a treat. Let me just say that. And here we go. And play from the start. Okay, so like Courtney said, my name is Sarah Way, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. So this is just an overview of what I'll be talking about and how I got started. So I'll do a little introduction about who I am, because that's probably a big thing you guys want to know. I'll also talk a little bit about my story, how Girl Scouts became a dog treat business, which then even led into me becoming a fashion designer. And then also where I'm at today with my creations and my businesses. And side note, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I will try and answer them if I can, if I see them pop up, or we can answer them at later on in the presentation. So with that being said, who am I? My name is Sarah Way, and I'm, like Courtney said, I'm a senior at Edgewood College in Madison, and I plan to graduate this spring semester. Whoop whoop! I'm super excited. It's been a long 4 years, and I plan to graduate with a major in web design and development with 2 concentrations with graphic design and art studio. But while I've been in college, I've also had to run 2 small businesses that have kind of developed from my Girl Scout interests. So where it all began, in 2008, our dog treat business kind of came to as an idea from our Girl Scout troop leader, which was actually my mom at the time. And from there, we were baking dog treats at farmers markets, and then we sold them. We also were at the same time we're doing all the cooking sales as well. But we learned simple skills like organization, team management. We had to learn how to bake dog treats. Again, I was in elementary school at this time, so baking was like a new thing for us. So we had to learn how to turn on the oven, measure out all the ingredients, but it kind of gave us life skills. And then at the farmers markets, we had to learn how to give change, count money, communicate with our customers, and then also adapt. So we had a lot of people and a lot of moving pieces. We had to adapt to what we were given, while organization and team management does help to kind of combat little issues or hiccups. You still have to be able to adapt, which I think is a really big skill that I learned as well. So yeah, then in 2010, there was a big change for me. I actually moved from West Bend to Fort Atkinson, and that was really big for me because I was moving from a big town to a very small town. And also with that comes a smaller Girl Scout troop. And when you get older into middle school, high school, we became very busy, as I'm sure you all know. Becoming older, you just find more hobbies, you find more things to do, and there just does not seem to be enough time in the day. So with that being said, I kind of branched out on my own, and I kind of took this dog treat as my own independent business, still using the same skills, meeting more people, and still making dog treats, and also adapting my business into helping customer needs if they gave me suggestions and stuff like that. So that was kind of a big change for me, moving into a smaller town and then branching out into my own independent business. But with that also came a lot of opportunities that I could actually financially support. So at the same time, in middle school and high school, I was also an Irish dancer, and that is not cheap. That sport is not cheap. I'll put it that way. But I was able to use my profits from my dog treat business that was originally started with my Girl Scout troop, and I was able to pay for unique opportunities like international dance festivals, my dance costumes, and also my dance classes, which is quite a lot. So I was able to travel to different places: Poland, Estonia, Belgium, and Canada, with my Irish dance troupe. And it just kind of grew from there. So any opportunities that, kind of arose, or I was able to like financially support through my business. So, which is really great because I could kind of, support myself along the way. And then in high school, this was another big kind of change for me. Is in my AP art class, I was the first person to create a 3D art portfolio that actually focused on the waste that we produce. And then I kind of used unconventional local materials that I found throughout my house or my community, and then I turned it into clothing. So that was my main inspiration on, in terms of creating fashion. And then I was also focused on the waste that was being produced. So I'll kind of go through a couple of these images so you can kind of know what they're made from. So this first piece here is made from bike tires from our local bike shop. And fun fact is that they're so industrial that the bike shop goes through so many tires that they can't be thrown away. So literally they just have a bunch of bike tires sitting in the bottom of their basement. And so that was one resource that I found in my local community that I used. In the second image here, this is made from egg cartons, Q-tips, pieces of jean scraps, along with beads as well. And then the piece here on the end is made from projector light bulbs from my science teacher, because at this point in time, let's see, high school was like 2000, oh gosh, no, now I'm doing like last minute math. But it was like 2016, 2017. My science teacher was like, we have no use for projectors or projector light bulbs in general because they've all moved to whiteboards. And so they said, here's some light bulbs, find something to do with them. And there I have a whole nother piece or a whole nother garment or a skirt. And then the outside, the textile is made from recycled jeans. And then I also use a lot of paper in my material as well. So this one is rolled paper beads. And then this one is music paper along with doilies as well. So, okie dokie. With that being said, and kind of also at the end of my high school career, I completed my gold award as well. So my gold award, I organized an outdoor art show, which held 10 local artisans that with volunteer help from the National Art Honor Society that just started. So we had, for those who volunteered, the National Art Honor Society, they were also able to put pieces into another part of the art show, so that I had to help organize, hang that part of the show, while I also had 10 other artists that were outside and they had their own booths and were able to sell. But I was really interested in supporting local artists because now being in high school, I found the need that, to help promote, help support local and stuff like that. So, and there was other things like an origami table. We had a little concession stands, but it does certainly take a lot to organize an art show. So, and again, I'm still using these same building blocks that, Girl Scouts kind of help produce: communication, organization, team management. And it's just, I'm taking all these experiences and I'm doing the best I can with them, and they're leading on to the next and to the next opportunities that just arise. So, and then with that, college comes after high school. So I was still able to continue to hone my skills even outside of school, not even inside. So I, started a Facebook page for my businesses with fashion and dog treats. So I learned marketing skills. And then I also, again, dove more into the fashion industry as well. So I learned more about sustainability, the whole entire, circular business cycle, the waste that's still produced, and, the regulations and stuff like that. So there's still a lot more that I'm learning. I'm always constantly adapting, learning new skills, honing my skills. More opportunities arose. So I was starting to do fashion shows, local fashion shows, nothing like the New York runway or anything like that. But I would do fashion shows locally, particularly in Madison, which you'll see later in the presentation. One specific organization that I work closely with is the Madison Reading Project, and they help hold an amazing fashion show. Again, I'll show you a little bit later, but I was also able to participate in my own art show and other local art shows, not organized by myself. But so I was able to participate in Art for On the Square. That's a really big show, other local art events. And I was also able to financially support a semester abroad in Belfast, Ireland, where I took a fashion course along with graphic design as well. So I'm using these skills, I'm making a business, and I'm able to financially support dreams that I've never thought that I would, possibly be on. So with that, it's been an amazing experience, but these are some of the newest creations that I have been working on in the past couple of years. This one in particular, I'll talk first and then I'll show the video, is an Irish dance solo dress that was created in my senior year of high school. But it was created based on, my love for Irish dance and being an Irish dancer. And it was actually my last year kind of being still in the organization before I moved on to college. So the bottom of the dress, you'll see that there's large numbers, large bold numbers, a collage of them actually. And those are my competition numbers that I would receive at dance competitions. Obviously, they're copies of them. They're not the actual one. So we photocopied them, put them on other paper, and then I was able to use them. So I still have all the original copies. But so that's the main base of the skirt. You'll see the numbers. And then on the bodice of the skirt, there's small fine text. It'll be a little bit hard to see, but those are the flip side of my competition numbers that listed all of the dances that I would participate in each of the competitions. So it's it's a great memory for me, and to kind of, put my fashion design along with, my environmental sustainability and all the skills that I've learned throughout the years. It was kind of a really precious dress to me. The dress design itself is based on a traditional solo dress that I would wear at a dance competition, which I actually designed one. It uses all original Celtic designs from the Book of Kells. And with that, I will play this. So let me know in the chat if you can hear the audio, because that's another great. Okay, thumbs up if you can hear music. No music? Okay, hold on. That's okay. I will unplug myself and let's see. I might be able to do.
You may have to stop sharing and then start sharing again.
Oh, I got it. Computer sound. Hold on.
Ooh, perfect.
Got it. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. Here we go. Now it'll be a lot, like 10 times better, 100 times better. Okay.
It is a solo dress. Is the name of the design. Credit to Sarah, Anna, Annie.
Some of Sarah's entry cards are made up out of the dress on the bottom there.
There you go. So there you have it. So that was one of the pieces that I've made recently. Well, actually, it was a little bit while ago. But this piece was also made with the Madison Reading Project. And what they're advocates for kind of giving children access to books that might not be able to. And so they're kind of promoting literature in Madison housing. And so they started this fashion show to kind of help their organization kind of create some funds. But the one rule that they have for their shows is that everything must be made out of paper. So kind of to promote the literacy in the organization. So that's a lot of these future pieces later that I'll show you in this presentation a lot of them are made out of paper, but they do a really good job organizing. They bring in makeup artists, volunteer makeup artists, and then sound systems, a stage, and everything. So they're pretty awesome. And I love working with them. So before I skip too many pages, okay. So here's another piece that I made. Again, this is made from found materials. My mom is also an artist, so she is very fond of collecting random things around the house. One of them is bottle caps. So this piece is made up of more than 900 bottle caps, each of which I hammered, so they're flat, and then punctured. As you can see in the left picture here, I punctured each 4 times and then attached them with a split ring, all to create one dress. It was a lot of Netflix watching, I won't deny it. I binge watched probably a couple series in this dress. So with the 900 bottle caps, I'll do a little math here. We estimated that there's 2 split rings per bottle cap in the calculations. So that's 1,800 split rings. And for each split ring needs to be connected to 2 bottle caps, which is, let's see what I said, 900, 1,800. So that's about 3,600 connections of me sitting and watching Netflix. Quick math. So it was a lot of time, but I really love the outcome, and you'll see why, because you think of bottle caps as a hard, stiff object, but this dress completely changes that thought. So. Okay, that was so short, so I'm going to play it again because it's awesome. So. So with that being said, I no longer think of bottle caps as a stiff object. I love the sound that they produce, and the flow of the dress itself is, I think of it more as a textile. It's almost kind of like armor, and I love it. So, but I'm still using, again, my skills. I now have this brain of creativity that I can use a lot of different unconventional materials and turn them into garments, fashion show, runway, avant-garde pieces. So I do have the business side of doing change and marketing and be able to promote myself, but I also have this creative mindset that I have creative problem solving skills that are like massive. Probably would never have thought of it. But okay, this is another piece that I did again for the Madison Reading Project. Love my model, and this piece is called Avant-Garde. This piece and the next piece that I'll show you was created, it was actually created, this year, January 2020. Well, I should say last year at this point in time, because we're in 2021. So this piece is all made from tissue paper. She is wearing pants, and yes, the pants do have pockets because every single pair of pants someone makes must have a pair of pockets. And there was a overall theme with this show, with the runway, ready to wear. And it was a travel in time. So this piece focuses on fashion in the forefront, and then my next piece will focus on fashion kind of based off of it, inspiration from past. So I have a little, so now you can see all of the runway, you know, music and, you know, all of the volunteers that kind of help in this particular show for the Madison Reading Project. So.
Design title is Avant-Garde. Welcome to the forefront of fashion design, where avant-garde is the new norm. In the fashion world, paper-inspired avant-garde has become a symbol of progress, exploration, and innovation. Everything and anyone ahead of their time. Avant-garde derived from French origin translates to advanced garde, vanguard, or literally foregarde. It pushes the boundaries of what is accepted as the norm or the status quo. Reusing unconventional paper as clothing puts a twist on what is wearable and challenges the use of everyday clothing. Once again, let's hear it for SJW Handmade.
Okay, there we go. I love that piece. Super sassy. She loved to walk down the runway. But also speaking with the model, she really enjoys, she's used to, you know, promoting brand products, but she was really interested in working with me because she was able to learn more about my pieces and able to understand me personally. So I've actually worked with her for a couple shows, but also just that connection and communication between the two of us. She understands not only, you know, part of, you know, fashion shows and, you know, runway and modeling, but she's learning more about my process and my sustainability and my creative mindset as well. So I'm also sharing this with people that I work with, as well as just using it on an everyday basis. So. And then the last piece that I have for you today, this piece is called Icarus, which is based on the tale of Icarus from Greek mythology. So the avant-garde was a blast to the future, and then this one's a blast to the past. This one is probably like the biggest engineering feat that I've had like to date, trying to create literally human structured wings that can move with the human body. That was crazy just thinking of engineering things. So now I'm not even thinking about creativity. I'm thinking about movement of the body. I'm thinking about materials that I'm using. So there's just like a lot of things that I have to think about when I'm creating each of my pieces to make sure that they fit, to make sure that they fit on the human body and they're wearable. So with that being said, I won't speak too much about this because I think the video kind of speaks for itself. Again, this is with the Madison Reading Project at the same show that Avant-Garde was in. And yes, I am modeling this piece. I will say I am not a professional model at any stretch of the imagination, but I was there to have fun and just kind of enjoy my piece and show off what I made. So with that being said.
Of Icarus. Inspired by a Greek mythological tale of Exodus, Icarus and his father attempt to escape from Crete by means of wings that his father constructed from feathers and wax. His father warned him of not flying too low nor too high, so that the sea's dampness would not clog his wings, nor the sun's heat would not burst through. Icarus ignored his father's instructions not to fly too close to the sun, and when the wax in his wings melted, he tumbled out of the sky. Sparking the idiom, don't fly too close to the sun. The wings are made from corrugated cardboard structure and are covered in more than 40 pieces of vintage wallpaper and vintage wrapping paper. The wings represent the father giving his son life. The ocean and the sun represent the extremes of denying and overindulging yourself. Flying in between is the answer.
And there's that. So those are just a few pieces that I've made, and I don't know what the future holds due to the pandemic and COVID, but I'm still creating here at my house. It all, you know, started with Girl Scouts, and that's what I kind of have to finish with. You know, from cookie sales to my dog treat business, to the different camps that I had, the different opportunities. they all lead to strong skills, and me always honing these skills to become better and better and better. You know, it's communication, problem solving, organization, you know, time management. And I think for me, the most important one is creative, always being creative, always thinking outside the box. And now even, you know, not in just my fashion design, but also my web design, I have like this creative mindset that I can solve problems, not just a narrow one street kind of way. I can create, you know, if there's roadblocks, I can always, you know, adapt, change, and overcome those obstacles as well. So it's not just, even in my businesses, it's I'm using it on a daily, you know, daily basis all the time. And from there, you know, the opportunities were endless. I was able to study abroad. I have literally 2 businesses that I'm running while being in school, dog treats and fashion. You know, I've become a fashion designer. And I'm also at the same time an environmental activist with my sustainability and using all those unconventional materials, etc. So the list is endless. And I feel like because of Girl Scouts kind of created a strong foundation with strong building blocks, I can use it for future adventures. You know, it doesn't just pertain to me when I'm a child, but I can use them, you know, when I go to work, when I, you know, want to create something new, or when I'm stuck on something. I always have, you know, skills that I can rely upon and continue creating and continuing to do what I love. So with that being said, I have to say thank you all for watching. And for those who stayed on, I hope that you enjoyed watching some pieces walk down the runway. So I am super excited that you all stayed. So I do see that there's a couple questions in the chat. I will kind of escape here, my presentation, because who wants to see that? But okay, so Carrie asked earlier in the presentation when I was talking about dog treats, is what kind of license do you need to sell dog treats, if any, and are you in Wisconsin? Yes, I am in Wisconsin. I'm in Fort Atkinson, and I sell at Madison and Fort Atkinson farmers markets. And in terms of a license, yes, I do need a license. It's a feed license. Your first time that you apply, you need to send in your dog treats to get lab tested. And then after that, you can continue to just renew your license if you have the same, you know, same recipe that you use. In terms of that, I will say that it's not the same thing as selling human food. Human food is a whole different area where you need to have your kitchen, you know, certified and all that stuff. So since it's not for human consumption and it's for dog treats, I don't need my kitchen certified. So I can make everything at home in a mixer. So just thinking outside the box. So, but it's a great experience, and you get to meet a lot of pets. Oh my gosh, I see so many cute dogs walk through the, you know, the market. It's like the best thing in the world. So one part of the job I love. So awesome. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sarah, for joining us. Like I said, Sarah is a very creative, imaginative, inspirational young woman. She came to Girlpreneur a couple years ago and did a runway fashion show at Girlpreneur. So it's always great to hear the adventures and how Girl Scouts really gave her the start that she needed. So tune back in this afternoon. I'm going to be talking with everybody regarding how you can become an inspiration and an entrepreneur as well. And we'll do some fun creative brainstorming. But for right now, we do have 25 minutes until we are going to go into our next workshop. Now is a great time. You do not need to leave the meeting. You can go ahead and just stay in, but we will start our next session at 1:30. Now is a great time. Grab some food, go to the bathroom, do what you need to, and we will see everybody back at 1:30. Thanks.